Howdy. Welcome to the Tony DeGonia Show. We're coming to you straight out of East Texas. So find you a spot where you get some good signal, grab you a glass of sweet iced tea, and get ready, because we're jumping in feet first. Welcome to the Tony DeGonia Show. Today is June 11th, 2018. This is episode number 21. And it's a kind of a special day today because 21 years ago today, episode 21, on June 11th, 1997, at about 6:35 p.m., my first son came toppling into this world, a bouncing baby boy named Andrew Cody DeGonia, who was absolutely, without a doubt, the apple of my eye. And while he doesn't always think so now, and he's older, he turns 21 today, so he can legally drink and legally gamble and legally go get a CHL and all kinds of things. And he doesn't want to admit this, but he is still that bouncing baby boy that came bounding into the world June 11th, 1997. And I am still just as proud of him today as I was the day he was born. And I remember the day he was born very well. It was a day like no other. It was, geez, it was unbelievable. Because I didn't know what to expect. We went through the pregnancy, and, pregnancy's pregnancy, and everything's all fine and good, and you're all proud, and, hey, my wife's pregnant, and that's awesome, and that's cool. But what nobody tells you is that when that baby comes, your wife is exhausted, and she's not in any mood or shape to be taking care of a baby. That's why the nurses take the baby, and they take the baby over to the nursery, and they clean him, and they feed him, and they do all of these things, right? And so while I was concerned about my wife, I slipped off to the nursery. And of course, they knew who I was, so they let me in, and I got to feed my baby boy for the first time. I was the first one to feed him. I changed his first diaper. I didn't just do that with Cody. I did that with all my kids. And especially with my daughter, it drove my wife nuts, because when she was born, I just disappeared. I followed that baby girl everywhere she went. Let me tell you, guys, there is nothing like having a daughter. Them sons are great. The daughter will put the fear of God in you just as soon as they come popping out. Now, sons will put the fear of God in you too, but it's not the same. Sons make you proud and they make you feel kind of macho and Tim the Toolman Taylor-esque, things like that, right? Daughters, well, for one thing, they kind of make you work on yourself. They make you figure out, just how far you'll go to prove your love to that baby girl. For example, I've met more than one big tough guy who has been photographed on Facebook wearing makeup. I personally have been photographed wearing fingernail polish. It happens. I got a manicure because of one of my daughters. Or not a manicure, but a pedicure. Manicures are nice. They're actually very relaxing. Pedicures, I was never a big fan of pedicures until I had one. And my daughter talked me into it. And I'm due a pedicure, something pitiful. But we're men. We don't do that, But apparently these little girls know how to make us do stuff that we never thought we would do as big tough boys. There's nothing wrong with it, guys. You gotta love your kids. And, I've taken my son hunting, fishing, and I've been proud of him. And I still am to this very day. But I think when they get older, you don't realize, they don't realize, and you don't realize as a parent that sometimes it's hard. It's hard to watch them grow up and realize that they're growing up. Because I think sometimes when I look at my oldest son, I still see that little boy. But he's grown up now, and he's a pain in the rear, and he wants to tell everybody what to do and when to do it and how to do it and everything. And I'm hard-headed. I'm not going to be told what to do or when to do it or how to do it or anything else for that matter. And so you have to be careful about that because you run the risk of alienating your kids. And trust me, from a guy who's done it, it's not something you want to do. My son and I, we don't get along a whole lot, and I miss him. I miss being able to spend time with him and hang out with him. Of course, he's got a girlfriend now, and they're kind of serious, so he don't want nothing to do with dear old dad anyway, which I understand. He's got this cute little thing sitting beside him in the pickup truck all the time. That's where I'd want to be too. But there are times when we could get along, but there's so much, there's so many issues and there's so much resentment that it makes it very, very difficult. So, you know, I work hard. Uh, Let me change that. I don't work as hard as I should, or as I could, I guess, to fix that situation. But dads, I would implore you, um, if you find yourself in that situation, you know, I'm not saying throw all your dignity out the window, but just do what you got to do to not let it get there. My big thing is respect. I insist on respect, and I don't get a whole lot of it. Um, and that breaks my heart because I just wish I got a little bit of respect. That would go so far with me. Um, but uh, someday maybe I'll get more respect. Um, I know that the day my son was born, there was only one person in the whole wide world that I wanted to see. And as much as I love my mama, it wasn't her. I wanted to see my daddy because I had questions. I had a son to raise, granted with my wife, but I had questions about how to be a dad. And my mom couldn't tell me how to be a dad no more than, you know, a tree can tell you how to be an elephant. And I, like I said, love mom dearly, but she wasn't a man, and I needed a man to tell me how to raise a man. And he did a good job raising me. We had our issues just like Cody and I have our issues. Uh, but I loved and respected my dad till the day he passed away and went to be with Jesus. I still love him and respect him, and I miss him so much because I didn't. So many years we lost because of frustrations and everything, and not getting along and things like that. And now he's not around for me to talk to, or get that hug. My dad had hugs that changed lives. I think that's where I get it from. Because that's my thing. I give you a hug, but it'll change your life. And my son can give hugs that'll change your life too, if he would just get over not liking to give hugs and actually do it. He would be in great shape. But to my son, I just want to say, Cody, I love you, and I miss you. Even though we live in the same house, I miss you because we don't talk, and we don't do the things that we should do, and I truly want to fix that relationship. And I'm proud of you, son. And you don't have to go in the army for me to be proud of you. And you don't have to go and become a rich man for me to be proud of you. Just be honest. Work hard. And do right by your family. And that'll make me proud of you. If you can do those things, then you've lived a pretty good life. And don't forget, love Jesus because he loves you too. And I don't know what else to say there. I do love you, son. And it's weird to sit here and look at monitor screens and talk to you. And I hope that you listen to this podcast, because this is all for you. To you dads out there who are estranged from your sons, man, it only takes one phone call. It only takes one "I'm sorry." It only takes one "Hey son, I miss you." You don't have to fix everything all at one time, but you got to start somewhere. And for you sons out there who think you know everything and want to, prove it to your dad, well, it's something you don't know about your dad, and he's not going to tell you, but he knows he don't know it all. But you can't doubt him, because one thing most dads have is common sense.
Well, y'all, looks like the show's over. So check us out on our website, www.tonydegonia.com. Then click on the Tony DeGonia Show button at the top of the page. You can also check us out on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, or Spotify, or any of our social media outlets, which you can find on our website at www.tonydegonia.com. Hey, thanks for listening in, and we'll see you down the road.